The hryvnia, or sometimes hryvnia, hryvnia. Ukrainian, grivna, run, listen, abbreviation, grown HRN, sign, code, UAH, has been the national currency of Ukraine since the 2nd of September 1996. The hryvnia is subdivided into 100 kopyak. It is named after a measure of weight used in medieval Kievan Rus. Name etymology: the currency of Kievan Rus in the 11th century was called grivna. The word is thought to derive from the Slavic griva, c.f. Ukrainian, Russian, Bulgarian, and Serbo-Croatian griva, meaning mane. It might have indicated something valuable worn around the neck, usually made of silver or gold, c.f. Bulgarian and Serbian grivna, bracelet. Later, the word was used to describe silver or gold ingots of a certain weight, c.f. Ukrainian hryvnia, Russian hryvnia, 10 kopeck piece. The modern Ukrainian hryvnia is sometimes transliterated as hryvnia, grivna or grivna, due to its Russian language counterpart, grivna, pronounced grivna. However, the standard English name for the currency is hryvnia. The National Bank of Ukraine has recommended that a distinction be made between hryvnia and grivna in both historical and practical usages. Plural: the nominative plural of hryvnia is hryvni, Ukrainian, grivny, while the genitive plural is hryven, Ukrainian, griven. In Ukrainian, the nominative plural form is used for numbers ending with 2, 3, or 4, as in dvi hryvni, dvi grivni, 2 hryvni, and the genitive plural is used for numbers ending with 5 to 9 and 0, for example sto hryven, still griven, 100 hryven. For numbers ending with 1 the nominative singular form is used, for example dvadciat, adna hryvnia, dvodkat adna grivna, 21 hryvnia. An exception for this rule is numbers ending in 11, 12, 13 and 14, for which the genitive plural is also used, for example, dvanadciat, hryven, dvanadkat griven, 12 hryven. The singular for the subdivision is kopika, the nominative plural is kopeki, and the genitive is kopijak, kopiak. Currency sign: the hryvnia sign is a cursive Ukrainian letter G, with a double horizontal stroke, symbolizing stability, similar to that used in other currency symbols such as the yen, euro, Indian rupee, and Chinese yuan, shares symbol with yen. The sign was encoded as U+20B4 in Unicode 4.1 and released in 2005. It is now supported by most systems. In Ukraine, if the hryvnia sign is unavailable, the Cyrillic abbreviation, grown, is used. History: a currency called hryvnia was used in Kievan Rus. C. History of World War I and II, and continued Russian propaganda post-invasion of Ukraine by Russia in 2014, state of emergency in Ukraine in 2022 with U.S., European Union and Canadian economic sanctions against Russia on February 23, 22 targeting 2 Russian banks. In 1917, after the Ukrainian National Republic declared independence from the Russian Empire, the name of the new Ukrainian currency became hryvnia, a revised version of the Kievan Rus hryvnia. The designer was Georgy Narbut. The hryvnia replaced the karbovanets during the period 2 to 16 September 1996, at a rate of 1 hryvnia to 100,000 karbovantsiv. The karbovanets was subject to hyperinflation in the early 1990s following the collapse of the USSR. To a large extent, the introduction of the hryvnia was secretive. The hryvnia was introduced according to a presidential decree dated the 26th of August 1996 that was published on August 29th. During the transition period, 2 to 16 September, both hryvnias and karbovanets were used, but merchants were required to give change only in hryvnias. All bank accounts were converted to hryvnias automatically. During the transition period, 97% of karbovanets were taken out of circulation, including 56% in the first 5 days of the currency reform. After the 16th of September 1996, the remaining karbovanets could be exchanged for hryvnias in banks. The hryvnia was introduced during the period when Viktor Yushchenko was the chairman of National Bank of Ukraine. However, the first banknotes issued bore the signature of the previous National Bank chairman, Vadim Hedman, who resigned in 1993, because the first notes had been printed as early as 1992 by the Canadian Banknote Company, but it was decided to delay their circulation until the hyperinflation in Ukraine was brought under control. On the 18th of March 2014, following its annexation by Russia, the de facto occupation administration of Occupied Republic of Crimea announced that the hryvnia was to be dropped as the region's currency in April 2014. The Russian ruble became the official currency in annexed Crimea on the 21st of March 2014. When it invaded the eastern Ukraine, reportedly killed 14,000 Ukrainians, and took over civil society institutions such as the Ukrainian Science Academy in the Crimea, Russian naval battleships positioned in Sevastopol, Ukraine. Until the 1st of June 2014, the hryvnia could also be used for cash payments only. By contrast, the hryvnia remains the predominant currency in the conflicted rayons of Donbass, i.e. in the Russian-controlled areas of Donetsk and Luhansk, two self-proclaimed groups which contested the government of the Ukraine and its state regional offices, including through beheading in 2014 of a government official on duty. No coins were issued for the first hryvnia. Coins were first struck in 1992 for the new currency but were not introduced until September 1996. Initially coins valued between 1 and 50 kopeki were issued. In March 1997, 1 hryvnia coins were added. Since 2004 several commemorative 1 hryvnia coins have been struck. In October 2012 the National Bank of Ukraine announced that it was examining the possibility of withdrawing the 1 and 2 kopeki coins from circulation. The coins had become too expensive to produce compared to their nominal value. 1 and 2 kopeki coins were not produced after 2013, but remained in circulation until the 1st of October 2019. Also, on the 26th of October 2012, the National Bank of Ukraine announced it was considering the introduction of a 2 hryvnia coin. As of the 1st of July 2016, officially 12.4 billion coins with a face value of 1.4 billion Ukrainian hryvnias were in circulation. On the 1st of October 2019, 1, 2 and 5 kopeki coins ceased to be legal tender. They can be still changed at banks, but bills have to be rounded to the next 0.10 step. Banknotes in 1996, the first series of hryvnia banknotes was introduced into circulation by the National Bank of Ukraine. They were dated 1992 and were in denominations of 1, 2, 5, 10 and 20 hryvnias. The design of the banknotes was developed by Ukrainian artists Vasyl Lopata and Boris Maximov. The 1 hryvnia banknotes were printed by the Canadian Banknote Company in 1992. The 2, 5 and 10 hryvnia banknotes were printed 2 years later. The banknotes were stored in Canada until they were put into circulation. Banknotes of the first series in denominations of 50 and 100 hryvnias also existed but were not introduced because these nominals were not needed in the economic crisis of the mid-1990s. Also in 1996, the 1, 50, and 100 hryvnia notes of the second series were introduced, with 1 hryvnia dated 1994. The banknotes were designed and printed by Britain's De La Rue. Since the opening of the mint of the National Bank of Ukraine in cooperation with De La Rue in March 1994, all banknotes have been printed in Ukraine. Later, higher denominations were added. The 200 hryvnia notes of the second series were introduced in 2001, followed by the 500 hryvnia notes of the third series in 2006, and 1000 hryvnia notes of fourth series in 2019. The 100 hryvnia denomination is quite common due to its moderately high value. Also common is the 200 and 500 hryvnia, as most Ukrainian ATMs dispense currency in these denominations. In 2016, the NBU paper factory started producing banknote paper using flax instead of cotton. In 2019, the National Bank of Ukraine introduced a 1000 hryvnia banknote and was issued into circulation on the 25th of October 2019. The introduction of the new banknote was in response to the National Bank of Ukraine's efforts of streamlining the number of coins and banknotes already in circulation. The 1, 2, 5 and 10 hryvnia banknotes will continue to be legal tender alongside its equivalent coins in general circulation, while being withdrawn from circulation from repeated use in commerce. In 2019, the National Bank of Ukraine introduced a revised 50 hryvnia banknote into circulation on the 20th of December 2019 and issued a revised 200 hryvnia banknote on the 25th of February 2020, thereby completing the family of notes which began with the issuance of the 100 hryvnia banknote in 2015. Current series exchange rates. Official NBU exchange rate at moment of introduction was 1 Ukrainian hryvnia and 76 kopekas per $1. Following the Asian financial crisis in 1998, the currency was devalued to 5 Ukrainian hryvnias and 60 kopekas USD 1.00 in February 2000. Later, the exchange rate remained relatively stable at around 5.4 hryvnias for $1 and was fixed to 5.05 hryvnias for $1 from the 21st of April 2005 until the 21st of May 2008. In mid-October 2008 rapid devaluation began. in the course of a global financial crisis that hit Ukraine hard, with the hryvnia dropping 38.4% from 4 Ukrainian hryvnias and 85 kopeckas for $1 on the 23rd of September 2008 to 7 Ukrainian hryvnias and 88 kopeckas for $1 on the 19th of December 2008. After a period of instability, a new peg of 8 hryvnias per US dollar was established, and remained for several years. In 2012, the peg was changed to a managed float, much like that of the Chinese yuan, as the euro and other European countries' currencies weakened against the dollar due to the European debt crisis, and the value in mid-2012 was about 8 hryvnias and 14 kopeckas per dollar. As from the 7th of February 2014, following political instability in Ukraine, the National Bank of Ukraine changed the hryvnia into a fluctuating, floating currency in an attempt to meet IMF requirements and to try to enforce a stable price for the currency in the forex market. In 2014 and 2015, the hryvnia lost about 70% of its value against the US dollar, with the currency reaching a record low of 33 hryvnias per dollar in February 2015. On the 31st of July 2019, the hryvnia to US dollar exchange rate in the interbank foreign exchange market strengthened to 24 hryvnias and 98 kopeckas, highest level in 3 years. See also Economy of Ukraine, List of commemorative coins of Ukraine, List of currencies in Europe, hryvnia Gurzavina, unit. References, bibliography, external links, media related to hryvnias at Wikimedia Commons. History of hryvnia, National Bank of Ukraine, announcement of hryvnia sign, in Ukrainian. Proposed symbols for hryvnia during design competition, in Ukrainian. Detailed catalog of Ukrainian paper money, pictures of hryvnia bills introduced in 1997, the first Ukrainian money, 1917 to 1922, Odessa Numismatics Museum, Ukraine, monetary reform. Numismatics, in Russian, list of coins of Ukraine.